Hello, my name's Eamonn. Greetings from Ireland. I'm going to tell you an old story. It's a story that was collected some years ago by Lady Francesca Wilde, the mother of Oscar Wilde, but someone I admire in her own right. A long, long time ago in Ireland, the land was covered in great forests. The forests were diverse native trees, each with their own status and purpose. The birch, the hawthorn, the yew, the elder, the ash, the hazel, the apple, the elder, the holly, the fir, and of course the king of the trees, the oak. These forests were so wide, it was said, that a squirrel could climb a tree in the north of Ireland and jump from tree to tree to tree all the way down to the south of Ireland without touching the ground. But these forests are long gone. Now only tiny fragments remain. They were cut down years ago in the dreadful times. Not only were the trees cut down, many of the people were too, and the animals hunted to extinction. One particular animal, the wolf. When people came from outside of Ireland to the land of Ireland, they thought that there was more wolves than there were people, and they called the land Wolfland, and so they were hunted down. These brave and wonderful creatures, they were hunted down just like the priests and the rapparees. They were hunted down too by the strangers out of fear and anger, entitlement, and for financial reward. In those times there were stories told about the fierce and dangerous wolf people. The wolves were called, in Irish, MacTír. They were the sons of the land. They were known to take on different shapes, and indeed there were people who became wolves. Now these were not the creatures of Northern Europe, the werewolves. No, they had respect for the people and the land. Well, this story is about one young man who met such wonderful wolves. Connor was a young farmer. One morning he noticed that there were two of his best cattle. These beautiful cows had gone missing. Not wanting to lose them, he decided to go and hunt for them himself, and he hastened quickly, taking only a stick, for he thought he would be back within a matter of hours. And he thought of nothing else. There was some foolishness in his thinking. For a long time and a long way, he searched through the forest, and he could not find the cattle. And then he came to a bleak place, and he noticed that there were no signs of the cattle, but there were signs of wolves. He also noticed that it was getting late. It was dark and cold. He had no idea where he was, and he was getting very hungry. He looked about to see if he could find shelter anywhere, and in the not too distant, far off, near the horizon, there was a light. He approached it and saw that it came from a low house, a very small house, and he went up to the house to see if they would help him. He knocked on the door, and as he knocked on the door, it was quickly opened, and there was a tall, thin, elderly man with grey hair and a long, long face. and when he smiled, his teeth were long and sharp. "Come in. You are most welcome. We have been waiting for you. Come in and meet my wife." Sitting by the hearth, that's where the fire was an old lady, not dissimilar in looks from her husband. She had grey hair, and when she smiled, her teeth were long and sharp. She sat by the fire, and in front of her was a pot that was cooking away, and there was the most beautiful smell coming from the pot. It was beef stew. And in the beef stew there were different types of vegetables and different types of beautiful herbs. The smell made Connor's mouth go wet. Connor looked into the fire, and unfortunately for him, he just happened to look from the side of his eye, and he noticed the old woman was smiling at him, smiling a big welcome with her big teeth. Now, she said to him, "Connor, you are very welcome." And Connor was surprised. How did she know his name? They hadn't been introduced. "It's almost time for supper, Connor, and you must eat with us tonight." Well, he got up and sat at the table when requested, but he felt uncomfortable. The old woman and her husband stared at him, but he was tired, and even though he was anxious, well, it was better he had something to eat and got the opportunity to rest. Suddenly there was a sharp knock at the door. A young dark wolf came rushing in and went to a side room. Within a matter of moments, a young man came out of the room, the same colour of hair as the wolf that had gone in. The young man looked at Connor and said, "We are pleased you are here, Connor, and we are pleased you will be staying here for dinner." Before another word could be said, the door was opened again, and in came a bigger and darker wolf, older. The wolf went straight to the side room also, and within a short time a tall young man came out with dark hair, sat at the table next to Connor, but said nothing. But the old man said to Connor, "This is our eldest son. Now, before we have something to eat, please tell us why you are here. We're not used to strangers. You're not a spy, are you?" And Connor said, "No, sir, no. The reason I am here is that I was out searching for my cattle. 2 of my cattle had disappeared. They disappeared early this morning at some point." And as he was explaining, he was shocked to see the 4 people of the house laughing. "Don't disrespect me," said Connor, "please." Well, Connor felt angry. He felt as though something was wrong, and he was anxious. He was anxious about being in a place where he didn't know who those people were, and there was something about them that was dangerous. What was he to do? But then the eldest son looked at Connor and said in a kindly way, "Wait. Yes, we are fierce, and some people think we are evil, but we never forget a kindness. Do you remember some years ago, there was a young cub, a wolf cub. You found it lying near a stream with a large thorn in the side, and blood was pouring from it. And you lifted it and removed the thorn gently and bandaged up the wound, and then you left the pup. But before you left the pup, you left it near the water where it could drink. It saved his life. And Connor thought for a moment and spoke. Yes, I do remember that. I remember it well, because the wolf cub licked my hand. And the eldest son said, yes, that was me. Now, join us at the table and relax. Enjoy the meal. You have nothing to fear. Yes, nothing to fear, because a kind deed is never lost, and our blessings are given by actions that are good indeed and well done. Late into the night, they ate and they drank, perhaps a little too much eating and drinking, and they spent the time together in jolly conversation. Connor fell into a deep, deep sleep. When he awoke, he found himself outside his own home, and everything was fine. But he was shocked. How did he get there? But not only that. He looked around, and there he saw 3 cows, 3 beautiful small cows, walking up the lane towards his house. He thought they might have been strays, but then he saw behind the cows there was the dark wolf. It was driving the cows towards his house. And then when the cows came into the farmyard, the wolf looked at Connor, and Connor looked at the wolf. Both bowed to each other. The debts had been repaid. Those 3 cows gave the best milk, and Connor thrived and did well. But the land did not, and the people did not. Many died, both human and wolf, and Connor mourned them all. And such is the story of Connor and the wolves. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.